we are all doing well, and welcome back to another Sunday session video. Obviously, if you're new to the channel and you don't really know what this is, it's pretty much where myself and Luke will take it in turns in this video to run through our market outlook in this coming week and pretty much just explain to you what it is that we believe price will do, in our opinion, whilst also giving you a rundown of how we believe we will tackle the market given the structure it delivers us. So it just pretty much provides you with brilliant insight into how we will tackle the market and how we potentially will look to profit in this coming week. So I'm starting off here on the Euro US dollar market. It is worth noting that as of right now, I am recording this on a Thursday evening. The reason why is because I am away for the next few days and I wanted to make sure I could get this recording done now, even if it means doing it on a Thursday, rather than potentially missing out on being able to do it for the week. So I thought it was the best idea, best decision, just to get it done now to ensure that I could provide you all with this analysis. So let's just start from a higher time frame and sort of work our way down on what we are seeing. So we see a bearish impulse wave, which has come all the way down here. The reason this isn't split up into impulse, correction, impulse, is because this first move lower, or what you could argue is an impulse, doesn't come to break the previous low, and therefore this cannot count as an impulse, as this move does not come to create a new lower low in the market. Therefore this entire move as a whole is what I am viewing as an impulse. So now that we take that as an impulse, I did not mean to do that, we then look at this as the retracement into a distribution of price, which has happened here. And then the next impulsive wave, which comes to break the previous low, therefore creating a lower low. Now, that takes us into price action as of recent, where we have this move where arguably, yes, we did break the previous low. However, it does appear as if the moves down here are acting as a form of accumulation. So we're wanting to potentially reverse the market longer term. Now, whether price wants to simply deliver a correctional wave in the scheme of this, we don't know, or if it wants to start delivering us with some higher mitigations, which could potentially mean some of these zones up higher. We do not know that as of right yet. We can only go on what price is delivering us so far. So we've had what could potentially be that accumulation. Price has broken the major swing high and therefore has confirmed to us that it is starting to go bullish. You see inside of here now a single leg of bullishness, so impulse, retrace, impulse, retrace, impulse. This impulse coming to slightly liquidate a supply zone we had identified. The reason why I potentially don't like this as a zone or as a major reversal in the market is just because as we've approached the supply zone, we've not had my 1, 2, 3 checklist, which is liquidity built, liquidity cleared by high volume, and then a clear break of structure. So we have been delivered with one of the three, a change of character or a break of structure. Eventually, as price came to break the protected low in the fractalized bullishness, but we were not delivered the other two steps. No liquidity was built up in this region. There was no clear liquidity sweep or manipulation, and therefore there wasn't enough of a sign to me that the institutions are in control here and are backing a move lower soon. And therefore, if the institutions haven't given me the sign that they need to say that they are in on this move, then I also do not want to be in on this move. That is my own strategy. Obviously, you can decide how you like to tackle the market using your own analogies, but that is mine. Since this break of structure and change of character, I am viewing this now as a single impulse from A to B, and then this as a single correctional wave. So we've gone from A to B, and this should be C, where we see the end of correctional wave, and then another move higher to come and set a new high in the market. However, what we need to see here is obviously price has tapped us into a demand zone, which represents a sell to buy region, an unmitigated region in the market, which could be refined if you wanted it to, but as of right now, keeping it to the overall sell to buy region, we see that we've had a lot of liquidity built up in this region. We could actually move this now that new structure has been created to having liquidity around at that region. What I'd want to see is now we've had liquidity built up I would then want to see a high volume move push through, clear this liquidity, give us a full mitigation. We then want a reversal and a break of structure. As of right now, the major swing point I see that I would need to see broken for confirmation is this right here. However, if we see price surpass this low, which I want it to, given that it comes to manipulate the market, obviously that would mean we have correction, impulse, correction, and then this new impulse coming to break that low. This would become a protected high here at 1.00237. So given that this low gets surpassed, we'd take this as the new major swing. We'd then want to see this high get broken. So we'd want to see liquidity cleared, high volume move. That high volume move updates structure and makes this a protected high. And then we want to see price reverse, take out that protected high, and then we know we can start looking for long positions. So that is a bias as of right now for Euro USD. On the off chance that price falls through this zone, we have a third and final demand zone that it could react from and to. If not, and we go lower, then I will resume my bearishness bias. Let's now head over to dollar yen, which I haven't checked in a while because not a lot has really happened. We've got some equal highs here in the market. So liquidity to the upside, which I do believe is eventually going to get met. And a few zones that are remaining. So from this CPI news, we have a nice sell to buy region that has been left unmitigated, which would be nice to see price trade into first before liquidating these highs. But that all depends on the supply and demand balance in the market. Obviously, we have this one all the way down here. The likelihood of this one getting mitigated is low because I can't see a correction wave coming all the way back down here. But you never know. We'll have to see what happens. But there's not really much to say about this. It's just a case of potentially seeing if price trades us into a demand zone. If not, we'd wait for new structure to be created and analyze that to see where it goes. So that's all I can really give as of right now, is potentially seeing price tap us into this last sell to buy before the CPI news, which should represent an unmitigated position. Let's now pick a market that I haven't analyzed in a good couple of weeks. As I do usually stick to the Euro USD market. However, obviously with the low volatility we are experiencing in that market, it's quite tough for me to continue. So let's go to this, which again, I have not viewed in a very long time. So it'll be interesting to see. Okay, we've recently had a major reversal inside of here. Impulse, correction. And this right here is a perfect example of entry confirmation, liquidity built, liquidity cleared by a higher volume move. We then deliver ourselves with a change of character here and then trade back up into what this represents is the overall buy to sell. Could have got a position there. Anyway, we've had the next impulse. Price has then come back up. It has not mitigated a clear zone, however, which is a real shame. Because again, some brilliant confirmation given we tapped into zone, liquidity built, liquidity cleared, change of character delivered. So as of right now, we're basically just going to expect price to run lower, break these lows, take this as the new impulsive wave. We will decide that inside of this, we have a couple of zones that we can look at, one of which being this last buy to sell here as a supply zone, and the other of which potentially being somewhere inside of here. I'll refine that in my own time, but I think those two zones are quite valid. So potentially seeing these lows get broken, this get taken as a new correctional wave. This getting taken as a new impulsive wave, and then the correctional wave potentially coming up to tap us into one of these two zones identified. So I think that's going to conclude my section of this week's Sunday sessions. I hope you've enjoyed the analysis I have brought forward and some of the biases that I have spoken about on these markets. I'm now going to pass you over to Luke, who's going to run through a few pairs of his own, give you his own bias. So I hope you've enjoyed my section, and I hope you enjoy Luke's.
How are we getting on, guys? I hope all is well. I hope you've enjoyed James's analysis there. Now it's time for me to go over some of the pairs that I am looking at this coming week, give you my rundowns, my analysis, and how I'm wanting to see price play out this coming week. Hopefully, by providing you with zones, areas, and boxes, you can look to profit alongside the LAGFX team as well. Now, before I jump into my analysis, I just want to make you all aware that we are actually running a free webinar this coming Thursday. So if you're looking to get involved into Forex, you want to learn more about what it entails, head over to the website, link will be in the description, sign up for the free webinar and attend on Thursday. By joining the webinar, you'll obviously be introduced to Forex and you'll also be given a few PDFs and access to a free course that we also have launched on the LAGFX website. I want to see as many of you guys there. If you are a beginner or if you are advanced in the trading world, it'll still be nice to see some faces and talk through the world of Forex. Now, without further ado, let's jump into today's analysis. So as you can see on screen here, I have got the AUD USD pair. Now, if you have been looking at the Forex markets recently, we were hit with some heavy fundamental news as of recently, which caused a bit of disruption in terms of the markets itself. So I haven't actually traded all too much this week, as the pairs that I like to trade do revolve around the US dollar. But we are starting to see structure form once again, and we can look to get reintroduced into the market. So if I just zoom in slightly, you'll see actually how I have highlighted a swing high here. And I'm wanting to basically see breaks in these swing highs in order to look for those buy positions. Now, I actually marked out an order block here, which we saw price penetrate, and price has since gone on to go bullish. So this was a potential trade that could have been placed that I sent out to the guys in the VIP chat. I'll throw that up on screen now so you can see that. But ultimately, what I'm wanting to see now is price actually break this protected high here. Once we have that, I'll be expecting price to pull back into a last sell to buy candle, where we can then look to get a refined entry with our stop loss just below the low that's created, and we can look to ride this market up into our final take profit target, which is set here. So the coordinates for this higher time frame point of interest that I've got is as follows. So we've got 0.69000 all the way up to 0.69072. So highlight that box for yourself, mark that out as an area to look to close any potential buy positions, as I am expecting price to tap in, give us the confirmation of a reversal, and then we can look to actually sell longer term in this market. Because as we know, the AUD USD market is predominantly bearish, so we want to be trading longer term with the prevailed trend. So just to quickly summarize, look for those buy positions. We're expecting a break in this high here come Monday. I wanting to see some kind of pullback, and then we can look to get involved in those buys. Now heading over to the Euro US dollar. Again, very similar analysis. These two pairs coincide extremely well with each other, and we can look to place positions very similarly to one another, as you know, the US dollar currency is quote in both of these. As you can see, we've actually had the break of structure that we were looking for. That happened just yesterday. We have now had the pullback as well into the zone. So if we just go down to the 5 minute, we've had the pullback into this last sell to buy. So now we can actually look to start executing positions in this market. So what I want to see now in order to execute a buy position is actually a small pullback into this last sell to buy here. Once we have that, price didn't actually quite tap into that there. So once we have that pullback into this point of interest, I will be looking to execute those buy positions, and then we'll be riding that up into our higher time frame take profit target. So as you can see, we can have a very refined entry here, no larger than 5 pips. And then we can have a lovely take profit target of about 180 pips, giving us a brilliant risk to reward return of at least a 1 to 34. Now my final take profit target is set here, as there is a last buy to sell candle, and we didn't actually have the penetration we wanted before that we got struck with that fundamental news. So I'm wanting to see all of this inefficiency get cleared, a tap into this point of interest, and then we can look to actually sell into this market longer term. Okay, so now heading over to the Great British Pound to the US dollar pair. Very similar. We want to see price recover. We want to get rid of all this inefficiency, and I've got a few areas that I'd like to see price reverse from. So we've got 2 points of interest. One here that's quite refined, the other one here that is not as refined. I want to see price set in that bullish structure, taking us into these zones where we can look for those longer term sells. Again, selling into these markets is following the prevailed trend, so that's what we want to do. Now, in order for us to look for those buy positions, I do want to see price break above this, because there is actually a last buy to sell here, as we can see, all of this here. So I actually want to see price break above this in order for me to have the confidence that price is going bullish, and then we can look to trade alongside those bulls and place those buy positions. Now, we can expect that when price taps into this zone here, we will have some kind of pullback. If you wanted to, you could look at getting involved in some shorter term sell positions, but I will hold off. I will just wait for the break above and wait for structure to start building on top of this, and then we will look to get involved in those buy positions. But yeah, overall, looking for those sells longer term, but we are looking to get involved in those buy positions, looking to ride those into our points of interest where we will look to sell longer term. So now moving over to the Euro AUD pair. I analysed this pair for the clients on Friday. This is a pair that doesn't involve the US dollar as a currency, so we can see that it's not been struck with any fundamentals as such. What I'm wanting to see is price trail up, give us that confirmation of a reversal, and then we can sell longer term. Reason being, this market is bearish, as we can see. It is setting lower highs and lower lows, so we can expect price to, again, come up, tap into our point of interest, and come down to set a lower low. Now, would it be worth getting involved in those buy positions into our higher time frame point of interest? Yes, we can do, but we just need to be careful as we are actually approaching this zone. So we can expect some high volume into this zone, but we need to be careful on where we look at entering, okay? Because essentially we are trading against the overall prevailed trend. Yes, bullishness is the current trend, but we are trading against the prevailed trend. So the closer we approach these zones, the more careful we need to be when we're looking at executing positions that are to the opposite nature, should we say. But yeah, that is my analysis this week. Again, it's always very brief, but I think this is the best way of showcasing my analysis. If you're wanting a more detailed look into my analysis and regular updates, be sure to join the Learning Lounge group chat. We offer a load of information over there and we share our analysis on a daily basis. I'm hoping that come Monday, we can actually look at executing some brilliant positions this week, get involved in those longer term shorts. All we need is the confirmation that price has penetrated these zones and given us the selling opportunities that we desire. Now, like I mentioned earlier, if you are interested in the free webinar that we are running on Thursday, click the link in the description, sign up and register for the webinar, and you'll be sent your confirmation link and ticket where you'll be able to attend this webinar. Now, if for any reason you miss it, not to worry, as we will send you an email with a link to the video that has been recorded where you'll be able to look over the webinar itself at a later date. Now, I hope you've enjoyed my analysis as well as James's. If you have any feedback, be sure to leave it in the comments. If you have enjoyed this video, leave a like on the video, and we will see you guys in the next Sunday Sessions video.